And we're back for Game 3 of the weekend series between the Spartans and the Panthers. I'm Taylor Storthy. Thank you for tuning back in. It'll be John-Luke Glanton on the mound for the Spartans. Over 24 innings in 6 outings. He carries a 4-1 record, a 4.81 ERA. He has struck out 19 in that span. And he'll be trying to confirm 3 wins for Tampa on the weekend. And most of the way through for a series sweep. Clay, Epple, Johnson. They'll be leading off for the Panthers. Let's give you the rest of the order as we get set for the new game. After Clay, Epple, and Justin Johnson, Aiden Warren is back batting 4th. Dylan Powinski bats 5th. Carson Lindau 6th. Travis Lyford 7th. Michael Gregus 8th. And Joey Barboza is in the lineup batting 9th after his successful pinch hit appearance earlier today. Tampa taking the 17-3 win with the run rule engaged in the 7th. The doubleheader allowing for the expedited matchup thanks to Tampa's early lead. But now here at 4:40 p.m., it's the first pitch from John-Luke Glanton. Strike 1. Yesterday I speculated with the original Game 2 time being scheduled for 4 p.m. that it would likely be somewhat closer to 4:30. Well, you know what? That is basically about it. Starting here at 4:40 as the count goes 1-1. Clay, Sam Clay leading off, playing second base today. Driven to left field. That's going to get down for extra bases. Soto is there, but he won't be able to get the out at second. Sliding double for Sam Clay, his second hit of the series. And on the 1-1 count, he's off to the hot start. That one flared and foul. If it stayed down the line in fair territory, would have been really scary. Could have been just like the hit that gave Davenport the lead back in Game 1. They started the scoring before Tampa scores 17 unanswered. Swing and a tip, 0-2. Glanton ahead of the count against Epple. And he'll get a foul tip again. Epple doing a good job protecting and staying alive. We continue the at-bat. Slider missing away, 1-2. Main thing for Glanton today, the coach Ursa wants to see out of him, is going the distance. He wants him to have at least 5 innings on the mound. A lot of his outings today have been a bit shorter in comparison. Gets set with a 1-2. Good dig in the dirt for strike 3. And Pereira makes the tag for out number 2, or out number 1. Let's give a look at this Tampa defense for Game 2. There are a couple changes. The outfield's the same. Soto, Evans, and Books in left, center, and right. Fikar is back at the hot corner. Ponce is in the game at short. Woodburn at second. Gunnar Carlson playing first. Nick Pereira forms the battery with Glenn at the catcher position today. First time for a home game. Now, we don't see Irigoyen at the plate as a catcher. He is the DH, however, so he'll be batting cleanup when we roll to the bottom of the first. We continue the 0-1. That one missing low, 1-1. Johnson had the RBI down the line earlier. He's 2 for 6 in the weekend series. And he'd love to put Davenport back in front. They've been held scoreless for 6 straight frames. That one out of reach of Clanton. Woodburn's there, 2 down. That advances Clay to third, however. A hit from Warren would bring home a run as he steps to the plate. 0 for 4 on the weekend series, though. Earlier today went 0 for 3 after his 0 for 1 2-walk hit by pitch day yesterday. First pitch on the way for Glanton. Tipped foul, strike 1. It's just going to be out there on the scoreboard. And there's no live. You have to keep track of everything. So finally back in the box, Warren gets set for the 0-1. Hit up the middle, picked up by Glanton. Always dangerous when you hit it in that direction, but Clanton's able to make the toss to retire the side. 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Clean inning for Glanton as he strands a runner, and Tampa has a chance to try to get back in front in the bottom of the first. So the warm-up continues. Taking the mound today for Davenport will be the number 37, Colton Blankstrom. On the season, he's got a 1-0 record in 6 appearances, 2 starts, 6.75 ERA. Pretty good numbers compared to the team average. In 16 innings, he has been able to strike out 14, only 9 walks surrendered. I was able to check in with Coach Tidy once more, and once again asked him, what are the goals apart from, throwing strikes in today's game? He said, just throw strikes, plain and simple. And Game 2 of the series is a very good indicator of what happens when you don't throw strikes. Tampa was plunked at the plate 5 times and drew 13 walks. Tampa did strand plenty of runners on the base path, 12 in total, but it allowed the Tampa offense to get a monstrous day and get back in the win column in just 7 innings. First pitch now, it'll be ball 1. Let's go over the Tampa lineup for today's game. Leading off will be Braden Woodburn, followed by Gunnar Carlson, who's playing first base. Then it's Jordan Evans as the count goes 1-1. Joander Irigoyen bats 4th, Jake Books 5th, Javi Soto 6th, Jesse Ponce 7th, Luke Fikar 8th, and Nick Pereira 9th, 1-2. Missing inside, and that clips him. Woodburn gets hit for the 9th time this season, and for the first time in the weekend series, an actual close hit by pitch. Most of the misses from Davenport that have plunked batters have been pretty egregious misses, but that one just brushes by Woodburn to put him on base. Useful with a 1-2 count, as that'll bring up Carlson. Pawlenski is back behind home plate to form the battery. That'll be on the corner, strike one. That is the 9th hit by pitch of the weekend series that Davenport have surrendered. Blankstrom has plunked 5 now on the season. 0-1 to Carlson on the corner. Woodburn goes. Pawlenski's throw is offline, but he makes the tag, falling over. Great defensive stop by Barboza. One down. A wild throw from Pawlenski, but he comes down, tags the helmet of Woodburn, one away. Get that one in the highlight reel for Barboza. Immediately makes an appearance as a pinch hitter and delivers, and now on defense also comes up with a nice stop. Carlson up the middle. That would have been a double play ball, and it's out of the glove of Clay. He will stay on top of it. I don't know if that'll be called an error, given how tough the play is. It'll either be the first hit for Tampa or the first error out of Davenport. One on, one away, so back to a similar situation. This time just one out on the board for Jordan Evans. Evans got plunked again in the previous game after his very dangerous HBP last time. They'll give that a single to Carlson. Good news is Evans good to go, and he was able to convert a bit later with a home run in the game earlier today. He'll take strike one in the inside corner. Good command for Blankstrom out of the gates, even with that hit by pitch. The majority of his offerings have been strikes. Evans had a hit by pitch RBI, a single and a steal, and then a 3-run shot for his 3 productive outcomes up at the plate. Evans is safe. They're keeping an eye on him in case he's looking for yet another steal. Would try to jump to 11 or 12 on the year. Evans now has the team lead in average at 3.76. Timeout called by Evans. Still no one count. Hit through the hole. That splits the defense, taking advantage of the shift. Evans is going to stay at first, and the relay throw prevents Evans from trying to advance on the single. Got it. Carlson makes it to third. Back-to-back hits for Tampa, putting Davenport in danger. Here's Joander Irigoyen. First pitch to Irigoyen. High, just inside for ball one. Walked twice to start the game, including with an RBI in the second. He then dotted an RBI double in the third, flew out in the fourth to complete what was a 1-for-2 day with 2 walks. Irigoyen finally gets a break on defense as the count goes 2-0. Pereira gets the start behind home plate, allowing Irigoyen to just focus on batting. Foul, 2-1. Coach Urso was happy with Tampa's improvements with situational hitting, including Ponce's contributions yesterday with that successful bunt and sac fly. Tampa, despite leaving some runners on the base path throughout the day today, have been a lot more productive. 21 runs throughout the weekend series, including a 17-3 win. There goes the runner. They will make the throw to second. Safe. Evans just slides off the bag, and that's out number 2. Evans misjudged the turf, and that allows for a second quick out, putting Tampa in danger of stranding the go-ahead run. Couldn't execute a double steal there either. Carlson staying put at third. Urso's going to ask for some clarification on the previous play from the umpire. Tough call at second as we continue the AB. I think Urso was trying to maybe argue that the tag was a push off the base, but he won't be able to get that call overturned. Second time Pawinski's retired a runner today. 2-1 to Irigoyen. 2 outs on the board. Ball 3. And ball 4. So the live stats actually hadn't updated the count in time for us on the broadcast. That will put runners at the corners again, although I imagine Irigoyen stays put at the Jake Brooks at bat. Tough day for Jake Brooks. He had to face off against lefties primarily. And he'll be at the plate against the righty, trying to give Tampa the lead. The Coastal Carolina transfer unsuccessful in each of his plate appearances in Game 1. The only Spartan not to get on base out of the starting 9. Strike 1. Short lead for Irigoyen, the 0-1. On the ground, this one is picked up by the first baseman. He'll just make the tag to end the inning. 2 hits, but multiple times. It's a big play from Pawinski behind the plate to help get the base stealers out. And Tampa strands a runner as we stay tied after This is practice. I'm used to it. Get the microphone toy. Warm-up complete for John Luke Layton. Game 3 of 4 continues. I'm Taylor Storthy. Thank you for joining us on the SSE Digital Network. Davenport trying to turn around a 3-game losing stretch. 2 of those games coming here at Tampa. The 4-0 and 17-3 loss. Tony was happy about the team's production at the start of the game. He hopes the team can continue those improved approaches as the game continues. Davenport was kept relatively quiet despite the leadoff double from Sam Clay. Here's Glanton. And Glanton's goal from Coach Urso is to go deeper. Tampa hasn't needed to go deep into the bullpen today. And they don't want to have to start now. Strike 1. Both these teams will be active again tomorrow. 11 a.m. on Sunday is Game 1 of the final day of action. And there's no doubleheader. It's just going to be Game 1. Down low, 1-1. St. Patrick's Day festivities coming to a close across the street. Pretty exciting in the early afternoon with a lot of people there wearing green for the festival. Pretty sure they were dyeing the river green as well as the count goes 1 and 2. And also closed off the road behind the stadium, diverting traffic in a different direction. Wonder if anyone used our west parking garage for the event. 2 and 2, missing low from Glenn. Pawinski, Lindau, and Lyford due up. On the corner, but outside, ball 3. Pawinski went yard to start the game previously. And it was big. It dealt a lot of damage to B.J. Bailey. But Tampa rallied back. Fouled. We'll go again. Another full count. Coach Urso was happy to see Bailey kind of recover after that tough start. You know, the RBI where you really can't do anything about that well-placed ground ball down third base. That almost takes the head off Glanton. A line drive up the middle, and it's another leadoff hit, this time a single for Davenport. But then on the 2-run shot from Pawinski last time, Urso said, it's a good pitch from Bailey, just a better swing out of Pawinski. Got good contact on it. And Bailey was able to recover, however, getting a lot of consecutive outs, striking out 7, and having 5 innings of pretty clean baseball. With Tampa leading by so much, they gave Bailey the rest of the day off as the count goes 1-0. Balk is called on the pitcher. Mentioned it earlier, and Urso is immediately headed out there to talk to the infield umpire. They're trying to say that Glanton had an irregular movement, which would have led to the balk. Now, while Urso complete his case, I don't know if he will be able to change the call from the infield umpire, Gary Chakowski. Garrett Little is the home plate umpire. Little and Chakowski switching their roles. And I think the thing is, something's up with the mound that caused Carlson to maybe lightly stumble or take an awkward step. That's what they're looking at here. That might have caused the balk. Either way, Lindell will be ahead of the count. And we'll see if they overturn the ruling to advance the runner. The first pitch from Glanton missing. I did notice Glanton looking at the mound in that similar spot exiting the inning previously. I wonder if they're going to try to look at someone for the crew to come out there and go over it. Even Sam Militello is heading out there to check things out. He's looking over with the third base coach. That might be the head coach, Tidy, for Davenport. Yeah, actually, here comes Militello. That was Coach Jimenez quickly checking things out. You know what it might be? It might be because he wasn't stepping on the mound. He wasn't stepping on the brick. I don't know like the actual terminology of the piece of, base that's there to represent the pitching mound. I think because it was loose or got pushed or something, Glanton wasn't on it, and that's why they call it balk. So as they're kind of getting to work fixing it, I think now would be a good time to try to take a look around the SSC for baseball results. Rollins have ended their lengthy winning streak, dropping a game against Embry-Riddle, although as they are continuing game 2 of the action, looking to win their 3-game set. Trying to find their current score because their live stats page doesn't directly go to it. They only have the results from the first game. They don't have anything for the second game yet. But pretty interesting to see that Rollins ended up ending their massive winning streak, taking their first loss in conference play, which will officially put Tampa in the conference lead. Looks like the call for balk is upheld, but they quickly got to work fixing the mound to make sure it doesn't happen again. Eckert have been active against Lynn. They won game 1, but also lost the first game of their doubleheader, 15-7. We do have live stats for the second game of their weekends, or their doubleheader slate. It hasn't started yet, but will be starting shortly. So with the mound fixed, Carlson will continue his warm-up as he gets back into the swing of things. And the good news for Davenport is, because of the mound's defect, they are going to keep, good news for Davenport, even with the mound's defect, they aren't going to overturn the balk ruling, so the runner stays in scoring position. 1-0 from Glenn to Lindau. So good for the Spartans to be able to fix the problem, even though they won't get the full intended outcome of reversing the previous ruling. Let's see if that helps Clinton a bit as he's down to the count against Lindau. His mini warm-up completed after delay. A lot of space down the middle for Lindau. On the corner, ball 2. No notable shift out of the Spartans' defense. Swing and a miss. And I believe with the walk, that actually might bring the count to 1-1. Given that the balk would have interrupted the previous outing of the at-bat. Yump hasn't corrected the 1-1 scoreboard, so I'll just keep that as a note for now. Swing and a miss, 1-2. How many balls in the count wouldn't matter if Clinton can find strike 3 on this next pitch. He did retire Eppel in the first inning on a 1-2 count. And now he's ahead in the driver's seat against Lindau, the right fielder today. Lindau moving from the infield to the outfield. Swing and a miss, got him. 1 down with a runner in scoring position. That'll bring up Lyford as Lindau getting a couple little notes for his teammates as he makes his way back to the dugout. I'm talking about that pitch he missed. Good breaking ball out of Glanton. Players that you can expect to not see today for the Spartans. Well, in this game, you definitely won't expect to see Bailey or Kenny Robinson. Robinson, 2 innings to close the door out of the bullpen. 5 innings for the start for Bailey. Ball 1 outside. He was able to catch up with Sammy Beer, and he mentioned he probably wasn't going to be active this weekend. He's resting up for some conference action coming up next weekend, and he did have a pretty busy weekend last time out. Multiple innings on the mound against Georgia Southwestern in multiple appearances. There's a clean step off for Glanton. And we continue with a 1-0. Also doesn't look like Moran will be going in this game either. He is the probable pitcher for Sunday. Fouled, 1-1. And naturally, Robert Sattin's already done for the weekend. He pitched on Friday night. It's unlikely that we'd see Fikar or Velasquez, but they could get pulled to the mound in case of emergency. Keep in mind, Fikar is at the hot corner. Down low, missing for ball 2. That is driven to left field. Going to take one hop in front of Soto. They're going to send the runner home. Ponce's throw to the plate. One hops. Scoop. They got the tag. No, they didn't. Pereira says he made contact. RBI double for Lyford. And the umps will have, I think, a little bit of deliberation maybe. Tough play at the plate. Polensky makes it clean with the slide. And with 1 out here in the top of the second, Davenport have taken their second lead of the series against the Spartans. Clean base hit, and Soto fielded it well. Good relay to Ponce to home plate. The swim move beat the tag, 0-1. That is where that tricky balk call definitely plays a pretty notable role. Of course, Davenport can't be satisfied with 1 run. The Spartans haven't been shut out all season long. Actually, the exception of their loss against Savannah State. They were held scoreless by Salvatore Urso as the count goes 0-2. It was a midweek matchup against Savannah State that gave Tampa their first loss of the season. Oh, 2 from Glanton. Rolled to second. This will be out number 2. And advances Lyford to third. Lyford picks up his 19th RBI of the season on that play. Bottom of the order, Barbosa had a hit in his pinch hit appearance earlier. Strike one. Can Barbosa capitalize again? Tipped foul, 0-2. On the black, strike three called. Beautiful fastball to end the frame. But the damage was done. A clutch base hit out of Lyford and a close play at the plate brings home a run for Davenport, and the Panthers lead 1-0 entering the bottom of the second. Soto, Ponce, Fikar, those are the three due up against Blankstrom. I'm Taylor Storley. Welcome back to SSC Digital Network's coverage of the weekend series. The senior out of Whitehall, Michigan will continue. Blankstrom's a big fan of Bryce Harper and Justin Verlander, and he's a big fan of both the Tigers and Lions for Detroit sports teams. He was previously at Grand Rapids Community College before making the transfer to Davenport last season. First pitch. On the ground to third. Will be a close play at first with how Soto can hustle. But he's out with just enough time. Good throw from Lyford, one away. That'll bring up Jesse Ponce for his first at-bat today. He didn't get a chance at the plate earlier today with Tampa rotating the entire lineup outside of Soto. He was rested in game one due to the platoon decision. As this one's fouled away by Ponce for strike one. Ponce did a good job with situational hitting yesterday, helping with the successful bunts and delivering a sac fly in that 4-0 win. That one missing 1-1. Situational plays, exactly what Coach Urso and the Tampa coaching staff was hoping that Tampa could be a little bit better at this week and this weekend. Down the line and foul. That would have been a clean base hit if it stayed fair, 1-2. Can Ponce turn around this little cold stretch that he's had as we continue the AB? Checks the wrist and gets set. Just missing ball two. On the ground to third. It's in fair territory, fielded by Lyford. Ponce is out by a step. Good toss across the diamond, and it's 2 down for the Spartans. To bring up Luke Fikar. He's filling the zone and doing better than the other Davenport pitchers today. Langstrom looking solid as the game continues. He gets set to take on the third baseman two-way man for the Spartans. Swing and a miss outside for strike one. Jack Martinez gets the rest for this game. Hit deep, tracking into foul territory, and falls behind Warm. Good attempt to try to get that, though, by the first baseman. Two strikes, two outs. Langstrom looking for a clean inning here. After a quiet first, Tampa jumped all over Davenport in the bottom of the second, chasing the starter out and walking home 4 runs. 0-2 to Fikar. Lined up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Clean hit past Barboza. Runner on, 2 away. And Nick Pereira is hoping to convert. Got the call off the bench to replace Carlson in the previous game. Unsuccessful in both his tries. Getting one of his first starts of the season, though, right here. Jordan Evans said he's excited to see Pereira get some action after returning from injury. He could position himself to be the secondary catcher behind Irigoyen as the count goes 1-0. On the way. Good block down low. It's 2-0 to Pereira. Definitely looks like Pereira will be playing more catcher than other positions, especially given that his scoreboard icon has him wearing catcher's gear. Three balls and no strikes to Pereira from Langstrom. And that is ball 4, a 2-out walk for Pereira. Second walk of the game for the Spartans, and Braden Woodburn has a chance. I know he'd like to get some revenge for the HBP. Outside, it'll be ball 1. Woodburn got caught stealing after getting on board. This one tipped foul, 1-1. World Baseball Classic play continues. Italy is currently beating Puerto Rico 8-2. Big thing is that Team Italy and their Olympic team came down to Tampa last year to have a 2-game exhibition against the Spartans, starting a partnership between Tampa and Team Italy. Hopefully we get some more trips from Team Italy or even a Tampa trip to Italy in the future. Tampa had split the series against Italy, meaning that Tampa's got a better record against Team Italy in recent years than Team USA does. 1-2 now to Braden Woodburn. Langstrom with 2 on and 2 outs. Can Tampa find a situational hit right here? Outside, 2-2. And that is a slider that will not fool a veteran like Braden Woodburn. Woodburn's got one of the best eyes in the nation. 13 walks, 8 hit by pitches, well 9 technically now, just 10 strikeouts. That one hits a third on a high hop, and they get the force to end the inning. Would have been a close play at first if not. This time an easy out for Lyford to make. Tampa gets some damage late, but they'll strand 2 this time around as Davenport escaped the second with a 1-0 lead. Both teams have 3 hits, but it's a clutch hit from the Panthers that have So Glanton, keep an eye on his pitch count. Can he go a quality start? Coach Urso would love for him to go 5 innings plus. He's had some troubles trying to go deeper into his outings this season. But only 34 pitches through 2 innings. And a chance to try to keep things close against the heart of the order. Clay, Epple, and Johnson due up. While Tampa's been able to get some offense on the base path, it hasn't been enough to overturn the 1-0 scoreline yet. Clay had a leadoff double and got stranded at third back in the first. Sam Clay ready to go. First pitch out of Glanton. Fouled. Strike 1. They've been able to change some late offense, notably against Kenny Robinson. Davenport was able to get a hit in the 6th, 2 hits in the 7th, and a walk to load the bases. But ultimately, they left him loaded. Timeout called for the coach to check on Sam Clay as we continue. Is there something up with the bat? Is a question. Second time we've had a bit of a short delay in the game. There was a faulty situation on the mound that led to a balk and a quick delay to fix it. Don't know what's going on here for Clay, but he looks like he's good to continue. And as Glanton gets set, so will Clay as the pitch clock resumes. 0-1. Good spot on the low outside corner, 0-2 from Clay to Clay. Swing and a miss. Might have tipped it into the glove, but either way, that's strikeout number 4 for Glanton, who showcased some really good stuff out of the gate today. Tampa have faced Davenport 5 times. They have won every single time. Their first meeting came back in 2022. They had a 2-game series against them last year on March 1st. They had a 1-0 win with a 7-inning outing out of C.J. Williams. He struck out 10 as the count goes 1-0. Game 2 saw Tampa win 5-0. It was Jake Stipp striking out 8 over 7 strong. Battle at the outside corner, 0-2. Polwensky, Justin Johnson, and Lindau returning starters from that final game of the 2-game series from last year. 1-2, missing low from Glanton. Both Tampa and Davenport having different pitchers for the series, however. Berghorst and Mason Hill were on the mound for Davenport in that first game. Picked up by Fikar at the hot corner. Sidearm throws on target, inning over. Or 2 down. I got a little out of myself there to bring up Justin Johnson. Johnson was the catcher in game 2. He's back to DH today. For the most part, Davenport and Tampa games have been pretty close. 2-1, 1-0, 5-0, and 4-0 for their first 4 matchups all time in the scoreline. Strike 1. But Tampa did, however, just win 17-3. So that's the largest margin of victory in that series. Also the first time Davenport scored multiple runs against the Spartans in a game. This could be one of the latter closer ones, however, as we continue. Now we're missing inside, 1-1. Johnson grounded out on a 1-1 count his previous at-bat. Hit one right to Braden Woodburn. It wasn't completely in vain. It advanced the runner to third. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Down low, 2-2. Up the middle, easy pickup for Glanton. And his toss is on target to retire the side. He's still potentially in the loss column. Tampa got plenty of chances to get back on the board, but Davenport still leads 1-0. Great recovery, though, for Glanton in these previous, after his So we continue. Blankstrom having an impressive outing so far, keeping Tampa quiet through 2. But it's not just 2 innings in a game. It is a bit longer than that. He'll have to keep things quiet as he begins his second trip through the Tampa order. Carlson, Evans, Irigoyen, due up. Tampa will be active here tomorrow against Davenport, but looking ahead, they take on Palm Beach Atlantic next weekend, Friday, and a Saturday doubleheader. They then take on Warner next Monday on Country Night to close out their homestand before they travel on the road to close the month of March. First pitch from Blankstrom, strike 1. Roosevelt is who awaits Davenport next weekend. Home play and conference play kicks off for the Panthers. A 4-game set that'll be on Flow College as the count goes 0-2. Deep but foul from Carlson. After that next weekend matchup, they continue conference play against Wayne State the next weekend. 2 4-game sets coming up for Davenport. This is a good practice series. Outside, just missing, 1-2. That one chopped to first, easy scoop, and Warren gets out number 1. Langstrom ahead of the count, getting some weak contact. 1 down for Jordan Evans. Evans is ready to go. Singled, but got caught stealing in his first try. Fouled, strike 1. Hit through the hole. Out of reach of the shortstop, deflects off Barbosa's glove. Another 1-out single for Evans. Will he be successful on a steal attempt this time, though? checking the wrist. Small lead for Evans. Is he going to jump to start the AB? Quick turn as Evans is safe. Irigoyen looking to keep the inning going. Another quick pickoff, no disengagement limit. They are keeping an eye on one of the more prolific base stealers for the Spartans. Here's the first pitch to Irigoyen now. Almost hits him, ball one. That's the first ball that Blankstrom's thrown this inning. Make it 1-0. Hit up the middle. That is going to get through past the diving Barboza. And turning the third is Evans. Runners at the corners with one down. That slow roller gave plenty of time for Evans to keep hustling. And Jake Brooks, trying to break out of this cold stretch he's had today, has two on base. Tampa sent Evans in this situation back in the first. It did not work out. They had Carlson at third, and Evans was thrown out at second. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Changeup fools Brooks. He grounded out on his very first pitch to first base last time. The first baseman didn't get the out at first. He tagged Irigoyen out on the base path. Checks the runner. 0-1 for Brooks. Outside. Ooh, 0-2. Brooks is not happy about that call, and I imagine Tampa fans won't be either. That one looked just a bit off. But hey, 2 strikes now. Brooks has got to find his way out of this spot. All he needs to do is try to put the ball in play to try to tie the game. Yes, he'll do just that. They're going to send Irigoyen to third. The relay from right field will keep runners at the corners. Tampa ties it up on an RBI by Jake Brooks. A timely hit for Brooks to finally break out of this cold stretch. And Javi Soto looking to continue his electric weekend as a chance to give Tampa the lead as there will be a conference on the mound. It will be a regular mound visit this time, not a pitching change. Blankstrom's done a good job. This one's going to just try to talk to him and see if he can rally. Blankstrom's been throwing strikes, but Tampa have started to hit around him a bit. Ponce also due up as well. 2 strong bats in the order for Tampa, who could definitely have some dangerous plays at the plate. Soto, 5'7", a junior out of West Palm Beach, transfer out of Santa Fe College. Last year at Santa Fe, 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. He was 1 for 4. Not very active on the base path. But Soto has turned those numbers around at Tampa. He has become one of the Spartans' best batters this season. He's up to a .375 average. He's played at 3 home runs in the early going, getting on base at a .465, .611 slugging clip. Over 1,000 OPS. And he has been tormenting Davenport this weekend with a ton of base knocks. The Panthers do not want to see Soto in this spot. Double play depth for the infield. First pitch. Soto gets one into right field. That's going to roll. It will be scooped up by Lindau to avoid getting to the gap. This time they hold Brooks up at second as Tampa takes the lead. First pitch swinging, and Soto adds to his weekend. Another base hit and an RBI to the tally. Soto had 2 hits and 2 hit by pitches alongside a walk in the previous game. He is now up to a 6-hit weekend. Ball one, taken outside. Soto very well could be on the short list for SSC Player of the Week with this performance. Satton's been incredible, definitely on that short list too. 7 innings and 9 strikeouts, and Coach Urso mentioned that, Satton just started the weekend right. He really sets it up in that Friday night role. And yeah, what a season it is for Robert Satton. An 0.23 ERA, a sub-07 whip, and he has fanned over 50 in 40 innings as the count goes 1-1. Level count for Ponce now. Luke Fikar awaits. And Ponce takes down low, 2-1. No activity from the bullpen for Davenport. Unless Blankstrom is really starting to miss the zone, I don't think they would change it. And he really hasn't. It was some timely swings with pitchers' counts that Tampa have been able to capitalize on. Just like this one, line drive center. It is going to drop. Trying to fake the catch. I like the idea out of Eppel. It'll load the bases. The runners had to hold up to see if Eppel was going to catch it or not. And the bases are loaded for Luke Fikar. He doesn't possess the raw power of Anthony Nunez on the mound or at the plate, but his finesse approach with great defense, with his electric glove and that sidearm motion, has made him a fan favorite, with a lot of fans enjoying his two-way play. The Hillsborough Community College team MVP off to a hot start with the Spartans. Bases are loaded for him. Tipped foul, strike one. He singled with 2 strikes back in the second, got left in scoring position, however. 2-1 lead for Tampa. They have reversed the scoreline in the bottom of the third. And that one's down the line but foul. That one did leave the bat in a hurry, 0-2. It's Nick Pereira on deck, who I think would relish an opportunity with runners in scoring position. He got on base for the first time this season with his walk last time. But for now, 0-2 to Fikar. Hit up the middle. Slow roller, probably not time for 2. Running across the diamond. The throw gets away. The shortstop couldn't convert. It's 4-1 Tampa. And they're actually going to go home. They can't field the ball cleanly in time. It's a bases-clearing error for the Spartans. Bad news for Fikar. It's not going to count for his RBI total. But Tampa is up 5-1. So Fikar will get an RBI for the runner at third. Most certainly, Brooks was going to score on the play. But also, the errant throw brings Soto and Ponce home. Ponce with a bit of a stutter at third base before turning and heading home because the ball was slow to be picked up. Huge play for the Spartans. Costly error as there's strike one to Pereira out of Barboza. And you got to feel for Barboza. He's trying to at least get something on the play. He's not thinking about turning 2 because that would have been impossible. But his throw just skips past Warren. 0-2 to Pereira. 2 quick strikes out of Blankstrom. One more time. 0-2 to Pereira. Checks the runner and fires. Down to the dirt. Good block by Polensky. 1-2 now to Pereira. Had injuries delay his start of the season, but Pereira trying to convert for his first Spartan hit and RBI. And he'll get that right through the hole. Are they going to send the runner? No. They will hold him up at third. That was a good throw by Gregus. A single to put runners at the corners. Pereira's first hit since transferring to U Tampa. Good to see Pereira immediately converting, breaking out of the cold stretch from his pinch hit appearances. It's his first start of the season, and he's gotten on base twice. Woodburn ready to go after Tampa's 10th hit against Blankstrom over just a 2 and a third. And yeah, it is only 2 and a third. There hasn't been a second out just yet. That would have been a nice pitch to swing at, but it just lands high. Ball 1 to Woodburn. Tampa is one batter away from batting through the order through the second time today. They did that back in the third inning. Brooks started and ended the frame. Carlson started with a ground out. He could have runners. Quick pickoff throw, safe. Pereira hasn't been able to show his base stealing prowess yet. He had 9 last season from Florida Southwestern. Really great tenure at FSW, one of the top teams in NJCAA play, as the count goes 2-0 to Woodburn. You hear me talk about the Citrus Conference a lot. I cover some games also at Daytona State College. While Tampa doesn't have any transfers from DSC as the count goes 3-0, Citrus Conference has been a very nice JUCO pipeline for SSC teams. Joe Urso has really found a lot of hidden gems out of that conference, just like Sammy Beer this year, just like Nick Pereira, and also players like Santiago Garavito, who became Spartan legends as the count goes 3-1. Also some notable ones: Evander Irigoyen, Josiah Velasquez, Jack Martinez, Walker Vanacek. That one's going to be hit to short, could be 2. Woodburn will have to hustle. They'll get 1. Throw is in time, inning over. A 6-4-3 double play ends the inning. Tampa does get all 9 players to the plate, but no second at bat for Carlson. Tampa won't complain too much. On 7 hits. No, 6 hits and an error. Tampa leaves one on the base path. So Glanton gets some help. 5-1 lead for the Spartans. Welcome back to the Birdcage. Some clutch, timely hits. Just what Tampa was looking for. Not just in this game, but the entire series. After struggling in those clutch spots against Georgia Southwestern, Tampa converting here to go up 5-1. Sadly, a double play took them out of the inning. But they finally got some offense against Colton Blankstrom, fouled for strike 1 from Aiden Warm. 47th pitch on the day there for John Luke Glanton. He's trying to go at least 5 on the mound today. The Georgia College transfer continuing with the 0-1. On the ground at first, but foul. It'll be 0-2. Glanton's looked good today, though. Apart from that 1 run given up, he has struck out 4 over 3 solid innings. The Luke Fikar error play actually was called a base hit. The error came after the hit. 1 RBI for Fikar as that goes 0-2 still. Fouled back. So good stuff for Luke Fikar, being able to bring home a run on his hit. Increases his average and his RBI tally, although 2 of the runs came home off the air, so only 1 RBI on that play. Down low, tried to get him to swing at it, but he holds up. Warm now in a 1-2. His ground out to the mound ended the first inning. Inside, 2-2. fouled again, still 2-2. Hit to short. Ponce's there. Throw across the diamond just in time. One down. That'll bring up Dylan Poenski. Lined into the outfield, out of reach of Ponce this time. Clean swing out of Poenski, who has been really nice at the plate today for Davenport. Lindau struck out last time with a runner on board. Can he have a better outcome right here? Right on the corner, strike one. Beautiful breaking ball. Here's Glinton, opening to the righty. Low, ball one. The tale of two at-bats for Poenski had a full count single and a no strike, no ball single. The first and last pitches of his respective at-bats. Well, I mean, technically, if you get a hit, it's always going to be on the last pitch of the at-bat as the count goes 2-1. So technically, that previous at-bat was the first and last pitch. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. 2-1 on the way. We continue the top of the fourth. 5-1 Spartans lead. Davenport trying to bring home that runner from first. And that one on the corner, 2-2. That looked a little low. Strike zone might be a little larger in this game, too, from Garrett Little. There is some activity over in the Davenport bullpen. They'll be ready in case Blankstrom struggles in the fourth. Tampa have 10 hits against him. They're reading Blankstrom well, but Blankstrom has been able to battle to limit Tampa somewhat. That bounced in fair territory, and and he was looking at the runner. He was ready to make the tag, but we didn't have a repeat of that Cubs-Pirates famous play a few years back. He just makes the toss for Woodburn for 1 out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a few years back, there were 2 outs. The Pirates hit there was a ground ball from, I think it was Javi Baez, to the first baseman. The first baseman chased Baez back to home plate to try to tag him. That allowed the runner that was on second to advance to third and keep running home. They make the throw to the catcher. The runner's safe. Baez runs to first. They have an errant throw to first, so they can't get Baez out. It allows Baez to reach scoring position on an absolute disaster class of a play. 0-1 the Lyford. That almost happened there if they were able to maybe advance Poenski if Carlson kept chasing Lindau, but nope, instead he just takes the force out, as now the count goes 0-2 to Lyford. So a little bit of a comical outcome there. Always funny to see those happen on the base path. 2 strikes from Glinton to Lyford, looking for a 4th inning of 1-run ball. 0-2. High. Lyford hit an RBI double in this situation, scoring the runner from first. The last time he had a man aboard. In the dirt. Good breaking ball, but doesn't get the swing. It's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Just low, trying to go outside. Ball 3. Runner won't be moving. On deck is Michael Gregus. 2 away. Inside, ball 4. Front door breaking ball lands low. It's the first walk of the game for Glinton, whose command's been pretty solid, but just loses out this full count battle. 2 on, 2 away. Tying runs on deck for Davenport as the lefty tosses in the bullpen. Driven into the gap. That's going to get over the head of Evans. No, he makes the catch. Losing his hat, finding the ball. Great hustle out of Evans to make the play. I thought for sure that would make it 5-2 or even 5-3, but Evans saves a run with a running play, inning over. We're off to the bottom of the
Good. Only 2 waters left. You want? Yeah, at least I got a water.
5-1 Spartans lead. They put 5 on the board in the bottom of the third. Blankstrom hoping for a better inning this time around. He's up to 62 pitches on the day as we continue the final game of the doubleheader for this series. It's not the final game of the series, though, just of the doubleheader. First pitch on the way from Blankstrom, facing Carlson, Evans, and Irigoyen. Ball 1. Carlson 1 for 2. He had a home run back in the previous game. 1-1. Swing and a miss at the low changeup. There's Carlson with a drive to straightaway center. But it's going to land before the warning track. Eppel makes the catch. 1 down for Jordan Evans. He's had hits twice today, but unsuccessful in his lone steal attempt. By the way, what I'm talking about today, I'm usually talking about this game right here. Tampa's already had that 17-3 win earlier. Strike 1, hitting the outside corner. It's 0-1 to Evans. That one's hit through the hole. Skips by Clay, and Evans now is on board for the 3rd time today. His 3rd hit of the game. Bobbled in right field, which actually puts Evans in scoring position. Awkward there for Lindell. 1 on and 1 halfway home. That'll bring up Irigoyen. He walked and hit earlier today with a single. Popped up, and that'll be tracked down by Barboza. 2 away. First pitch pop-up out of Irigoyen. Here comes Jake Books. Books had a clutch RBI hit. He gets another runner in scoring position right here. Ball one taken outside after a really quiet start to the weekend series. Here comes Jake Books. That'll miss 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Great whiff there from Blankstrom. Looking to go 4 innings at least. Will he be back for the 5th? It's not a guarantee, but stranding a runner would certainly help that case. Outside, 2-2. Blankstrom looking for out number 3. Checks the runner, fires to Books. Books to straightaway center. That's got some carry. Epple tracking back. It's off the wall. Epple puts his hands up, signaling a ground rule double, and the ump will concur the call. It will score the runner. It's 6-1 Spartans. Second RBI of the game for Jake Books. That'll bring up Javi Soto with 2 outs. Let's see what Soto can do this time after his RBI previously. Line drive into center. Can Epple get to it in time? Yes, he does. Almost has to fight the sun, but makes the catch to end the inning. 2 hits, bring home a run, and extend the Tampa lead. Clean inning apart from that for Blankstrom. 6-1 Tampa lead through. So the goal from Coach Urso to Glanton was to go deep into the game. He's carrying a 5-run lead into the 5th. Can he make it to a quality start? He's given up 1 run so far. But apart from that, he's been very nice on the mound. 4 strikeouts, just 1 walk. And while there have been a handful of hits, 4 in total out of Davenport, he's also been able to get out of a couple tricky spots, most notably stranding 2 in the previous inning. Glanton will be ready to go. He takes on Barbosa, Clay, and Epple. Both these teams will be active again tomorrow. It's going to be an 11 a.m. showdown to close out the weekend stretch and close out this trip to Florida for Davenport. Tampa, meanwhile, will resume conference play next weekend, as there will be strike 1 low and outside. It's around that time for spring break here at Tampa. So campus is a little more quiet than it usually is. Here's a drive to deep center by Barbosa. Evans makes the running catch. He's got Ukyo Shuto wheels out there in center field, making another highlight play. If you don't know who that is, just watch Team Japan at the World Baseball Classic. He's one of the best defensive center fielders in the world. 1 down immediately off another running play. denying Davenport of an extra base hit. That was the exact same thing he did to end the previous inning with a line drive in the gap by Gregus. Here's Sam Clay, first pitch. Chopped foul, strike one. Gregus had a double, but also swung and missed for the fourth strikeout against Glanton last time. Down low, make it 1-1. Even count now for Glanton to Clay. There's a swing, make it 1-2. Just down low, 2-2. Three and two now. They're still 2-2. Ball four. Second walk from Glanton to bring up Eppel to the plate. Double play opportunities there. Pereira with a quick turn. The runner scurries back safely. 1-0. Good job blocking the ball that goes low. 1-1, good take. Outside, 2-1. Popped up, and while that does have a lot of carry, Evans can more easily settle under this one for 2 outs. He's had the last 3 outs on defense, as Glanton needs one more to escape the inning. Justin Johnson ready to go. Fouled, strike one. Johnson just a little late to that one. Grinding out to shorten to the pitcher in his first few tries. On the corner, good framing by Pereira. 0-2 to Johnson, putting Glanton ahead. Down low, 1-2. Runner on first. Swing and a miss down low. Messes with the timing with a nice changeup. And it's strikeout number 5 to finish 5 innings on the mound for Glanton. No hits this time around given up, just 1 walk and 1 stranded. Bottom of the 5th, Tampa leads 6-1. Will there be a call to the bullpen? Not yet. Plankstrom back out to get us started. Ponce leads off. He's followed by Fikar and Pereira for this inning, the bottom of the fifth. Without the lefty on the mound, Tampa did not have to worry about a lefty platoon, so Ponce was able to get back to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today, and he'll swing and miss for strike one. Good to see Ponce get back to work. And he's going to get another hit here as it slips to second. Throw to first is somehow in time. Highlight stopped by Clay, one away. It was out of reach of Warren on the dive, in reach for Clay, and his throw to the pitcher just beats Ponce by half a step. One down. First pitch for Fikar on the corner, ball one. 2 hits in, an RBI back in the third. The errant throw from short on his other hit allowed him to clear the bases loaded. Is this one going to drop as a blooper? No. Catch made by the center fielder, Epple. 2 down. 2 quick outs for Blankstrom, looking to complete 5 innings. A walk and a single for Pereira today. He's got 2 outs to try to get Tampa on the board in this inning. And his first pitch is deep to left field. That's got a lot of carry, and it's going to fall. The left fielder couldn't find it, and it's not a ground rule double. Pereira is strolling into third. A triple with 2 away. Lost in the sun. Gregus couldn't find it. It was just shy of a home run, landing for 3. Took a big hop after the bounce. The Davenport coach was thinking that it was a ground rule double, but it didn't actually bounce over the wall. Here's Braden Woodburn, 2 away after a huge base hit out of Nick Pereira. Second hit of the game, his 3rd time getting on board for the Spartans. Strike. No, ball 1. I thought that was a strike. Blankstrom might have gotten robbed there, 1-0. Carlson on deck. You imagine they'd go to the lefty if they can't get Woodburn out. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Pitch count climbing for Blankstrom. It's at 78 now. A lot of quick at-bats here in the 5th. Will he be back for the 6th is the question. I doubt it. 13 hits allowed. Trying to complete a gritty outing. Bounced up the middle. Will be a slow roller. Picked up and short. Throw is offline. Woodburn is safe as it pulls the first baseman off the bag. 7-1 lead for the Spartans. It'll be an error, I'd imagine, on the play for Woodburn. Shouldn't be called a hit. The reason that Woodburn was safe is because the throw forced Warren off the bag. Just offline by Barboza, trying to make a highlight play. The only thing you can really do in that situation. 7-1 Spartans, third error of the game. For the Panthers. Here's Carlson now with 2 outs. They do keep Blankstrom in. Strike 1 to Carlson. 1 for 3 day for Carlson. He's also been great at the plate this weekend. Notably, he hasn't been able to work a walk yet. Blankstrom has only given up 2 free passes today. He's doing exactly what Coach Tidy wants. Throw strikes. And even though Tampa's been able to capitalize, you know you'd certainly rather Tampa have to make those base hits happen rather than just walking runners home as the count goes 0-2. Evans awaits. Will he have a chance to keep the inning going? Checks the runner. Here's Blankstrom. Swing and a tip into the glove for strike 3. It took a while, but that's actually the first strikeout today for Blankstrom. It'll probably end his outing, but it'll end it on a high note. We're off to the top of the 6th. Tampa extends to a 7-1 lead in the bottom of the 5th. Spartans lead. Heart of the order. Warren, Powensky, and Lindau due up against Glanton, who is looking to pick up a high-quality start. I'm Taylor Swarthy. Thank you for tuning in to Tampa Spartans Baseball. The senior out of Metter, Georgia, doing a good job today. He has held Davenport to just 1 run. He was almost able to go the full quality start distance in his last game, as that'll be an 0-1 fastball. But he got pulled as things got a little shaky in the 2-1 defeat. Good grab by Ponce. A line shot from Warren is picked up for out number 1. One out immediately for Glanton. First pitch to Powensky, and that hits him. He'll get on base. There have been a lot of hit by pitches today. That one just slipped out of the hand of Glanton to bring up Carson Lindau. Lindau 0 for 2. And that'll be strike 1. Lindau had that play with the delay down in his previous at-bat, as this one's tipped foul to make it 0-2. Glanton quickly ahead of Lindau. He struck him out back in the second. He would like a sixth strikeout right here. Foul, still 0-2. Down low and inside, 1-2. Good take by Lindau. On the ground, won't be two, but Woodburn could turn out number two. They get it in time, 2 down. Pawlenski advances to scoring position. That's the benefit of those slow rollers. Harder for the defense to turn two on those plays. Runner in second for Lyford. 6-run Tampa lead. That will miss down low ball 1. Lyford's RBI double, the lone run for the Panthers today. Can they cut the deficit to 5? On the corner, 1-1. Close call there. Lyford visibly not a fan of it. And I think I heard some oohs and ahs from the Davenport faithful. Here's the 1-1. Driven down the line and foul. 1-2. Could have scored the runner if it stayed fair, but it just drifts to the left. 2 strikes to Lyford. He'll poke that one foul to stay alive.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow. Did you ever write that, Ginger? What was that? Really? You're the first one to say they did a rap. Especially high school. They did. Well, I was the same guy. It was always the same crew.
Down low, 2-2, just missing away. Down low again, and the count will go full. Very patient now for Lyford, who had worked a full count walk last time. 2 outs for the runner in scoring position. Gregus on deck. They're now making a change at the plate. Payoff pitch from Glenn for the quality start. Got him looking. Strike 3 called. Rings him up on the low fastball. And it's strikeout number 6 to end the day for John Luke Glenn. He did plunk a batter to leave a runner on the base path, but no hits allowed in his final 2 frames. Surely he's done after 6th. And what a way to close out the weekend. At least for himself. There is still plenty of action to go. Bottom of the 6th and potentially 3 So here we go. Back for the 6th. Continuing the outing after a quick inning last time is Blankstrom. It has been a rough day for the bullpen for Davenport, so it's great that Blankstrom's been able to go so deep. Obviously, 14 hits allowed isn't ideal, but apart from that, the rest of his scoreline does not look too bad, especially because a couple of errors did get in the way. First pitch. That one's rolled to second. Evans will be denied of a 4th hit. 1 away. Apparently they overturned the Woodburn error into a hit. I think just trying to help out his stat line potentially, because I definitely think that would have been an error. Don't know if that'll get overturned post-game. That'll miss down low for ball 1. Irigoyen is 1 for 2 with a walk. And he'll take inside 2-0. He's been able to not worry about playing catcher today. Pereira's done a great job forming the battery with John Luke Lanton. Here's the 2-0. Now on the corner, that'll be a strike, 2-1. The first pitch was actually called a strike and a very late call. 1-2 on the way to Irigoyen. Swing and a miss. And I was correct. Irigoyen taps the helmet on a swing. 2-2. That one low and inside. 3-2. Blankstrom's only walked 2 today. Jake Books on deck. Swing and a miss. Ties him up for a second strikeout. 2 down. And that'll bring up Jake Books. The lefty continuing his warm-up, but maybe they wait for the next inning. Can Blankstrom get a quality distance? Quality start with the runs is out of the question. But he could complete 6. Blankstrom making quick work against the Spartans here, as it will be strike 1 to Books. Books with 2 hits and 2 RBIs today. An RBI double, an RBI single, not to mention had a big hit in the previous game as well. No, it was actually in this game. Down low, 1-1. Blankstrom staying on the mound. He is in a groove right now. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Soto awaits, but he might have to wait for the lucky 7th. Bottom of the 6th, 7-1 Spartans. 2 strikes, 2 outs from Blankstrom. Down low, 2-2. Blankstrom looking for one more strike. Over 90 pitches now. It's the center. That should drop, and yes, 1 hop for a single with 2 down. 3rd hit of the game for Books. 15th hit for the Spartans. Soto had an RBI single back in the 3rd when Tampa had 9 players get to the plate and 5 runs come on the board on 7 hits. First hit of the inning for the Spartans. And with 2 outs here, Soto, first pitch. He'll pop that one foul. Only 23 hits allowed for Blankstrom entering today. That number has skyrocketed a bit, but he is doing a great job of keeping the Davenport bullpen a bit healthier now. Davenport actually went to a position player as the count goes 1-1. The previous game with a 17-3 scoreline and 2 and 1 out, Davenport brought in Max Ferrick to try to get out of the jam. He exclusively threw fastballs, but had enough power to get 2 strikeouts and end the inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Soto. Actually, should be 1 and 2. Our main scoreboard operator, not for the broadcast, but for the center field scoreboard's got to wake up. I mean, it was not a 2-0 count in the slightest. Here's the 1-2 on the way. On the corner, but doesn't get the read. It's 2 and 2. If it was a closer game, you might have heard more complaints out of the Davenport faithful. But hey, you can't fight City Hall. 2-2 on the way for Javi Soto. After so many quick at-bats, it's a long battle between him and Blankstrom. His pitch count about to hit 100. Popped backwards, so he stayed 2 and 2. And this will take Blankstrom to the triple digits.
How good is your basketball defense? Not good.
2 and 2 on the way. Outside, 3 and 2. Runner will be going on the payoff pitch. Ponce awaits.
That's how you gauge.
Will he have to wait for the lucky 7th? They won't be holding books here. The first baseman actually might be trying for pickoff. No, he won't. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Strike 3 on the breaking ball. And for a 3rd strikeout, Blankstrom can end the day on a high note. 2 scoreless frames, 1 runner stranded, and 2 Ks to close out the 6th. Tampa leads 7-1, held scoreless for the first time since the 2nd inning. Out of the bullpen, Tampa will bring the junior Oscar Hernandez into the game. Came out of State College of Florida via the portal. He actually has had experience in the SSC before. Started his collegiate career with Nova Southeastern. On the season, Hernandez has a 6.30 ERA. He's pitched 12 innings out of the bullpen. 11 strikeouts in that span. 8 walks, though, so the command has been a bit shaky at times. Let's see how the righty is able to do today. So John Luke Layton gets his first quality start with the Spartans. And after going 5 and 5 2/3 respectively, he finally makes it through 6. Top of the 7th, 7-1 Spartan lead. Final line score for Glanton, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. A good day for Glanton. He's in line for what would be a 5th win of the season. And Tampa would look to improve to 19 and 3. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Gregus, Barboza, and Clay do up. Swing and a miss, strike 2. These strong leads are huge for Tampa. It allows them to rest their high leverage guys, Sammy Beer and Luke Fikar. Fikar hasn't needed to take the mound today after he went 1 1/3 innings yesterday. 0-2 on the way from Hernandez. Tipped foul, went to the high heat, and Gregus almost went under it. The clouds have parted. They are a bit further away now from the field, giving us a bright blue sky as the shadows creep onto the field in the late afternoon. 0-2 on the way. In the dirt, 1 and 2. It's one thing to watch for. There's a bit of a glare that comes with the shadows creeping out onto the field. can make it very awkward for defenders to try to field the ball. We actually saw, without the shadows, the left fielder for Davenport lose the ball in the sun. Got him. Strike three. Strikeout number one for Hernandez out of the bullpen. One down to bring up Joey Barboza, who will stay in the game. Came on as a pinch hitter. Got a base hit in the first game of the series. 0 for 2 so far today. Hernandez also attended high school at Montverde Academy. There's a bunt down the third base line, picked up by Fikar, and that throw gets away. Error by Fikar to put Barboza in scoring position. With this lead, you're in a position to make a risky rushed play like that. Very nice bunt for hit out of the shortstop. That'll bring up Clay with one out and one halfway home. Ball just missing outside, 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1, immediately fires back. Good to see Hernandez doesn't have any confidence shaken after that well-placed bunt. Hit to third. Picked up by Fikar. His throw is on target this time. 2 down. And that'll bring up Eppel, who is 0 for 3 today. Strike one. Hernandez is doing a good job of hitting the zone. And that one's hit foul for strike two. Two strikes. 2 outs. Oscar Hernandez to Wyatt Eppel. Hit to short. Ponce with an awkward grab, but his throw's on target to end the inning. Took a weird hop, but Ponce stays on top of it, and the lone runner comes aboard with a bunt for hit error. The first error of the weekend for the Spartans, but a clean frame nonetheless out of Oscar Hernandez. We are off to the bottom of the 7th, the lucky 7th, and it's finally the day. So a two-way man, Aiden Arbaugh, is going to get on the mound for the lucky 7. Davenport trails 7-1. Arbaugh's had just one appearance. He gave up a home run. they'll be looking for a better outcome today. The left-hander out of Brooklyn, Michigan, was previously at Michigan State. Had some command issues last year. We'll see how he does today against Ponce, Ficar, and Pereira. Don't know if Tampa will be making any changes. Bottom of the order, fourth trip to the plate. 1 for 3, 2 for 3, 2 for 2. That's the stat lines for Pereira, Ficar, and Ponce. It's Ponce who is 1 for 3, taking strike 1. Final line score for Blankstrom, 6 innings, 15 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Great day for Blankstrom in terms of having a gritty start, although you ideally want less than 15 hits on the mound as the count goes 0-2. But he threw plenty of strikes, and for Tidy, that's all he's looking for out of his starters after what was a Game 2 to regret of the weekend series. Game 3 has been a lot better with command. And so far, a good start for Arbaugh, 2 strikes to Ponce. On the ground at third, takes a high hop, scooped up, Leifert's throw on target. RBI single in the third for Luke Ficar. Great day for him at the plate. It's unlikely that he'll take the mound in case it's an emergency. And Ponce had a quick delay at first base after the play. He is all right. Couldn't see what had happened. That one almost hits Ficar, fastball drifting high and inside. Pereira on deck, triple and a single. One of the few extra base hits Tampa's had. They did have 2 home runs back in Game 1 as the count goes 2-0. So Ficar ahead of the lefty. 3-0. And it might be a free base to bring up Pereira. Nope, he'll find the zone, 3-1. Three-one on the way from Arbaugh. Swing and a miss, 3-2. That'll pull the count full for Ficar. Two-way man against the two-way man. Payoff pitch with the bases empty. Hit to second, but right to Clay. 2 down. Clean line shot, but the defender makes the easy grab. Pereira had a first pitch swing in the fifth, a triple that would bring him to scoring position. That was the ball that Gregus couldn't find in left field. Top of the order on deck as we continue the lucky 7. Bottom of the 7th, 1-0 count, and a 7-1 Spartans lead. Ooh, that one slips away, 2-0. Just a bit high that time around. Arbaugh with a good full count line out in the previous at bat. But he's down 2-0 again to the righty. Popped up and fouled. Oh, it's going to land in play, and the first baseman can't come up with it. Warren couldn't judge where it was landing. The sun and the glare getting in the way. That is one of the most awkward hits you'll ever see. And it puts Pereira in scoring position. An infield single. I don't know if they'll call, yeah, it's going to call the double. Crazy outcome there to bring up Braden Woodburn. Woodburn breaking out of what was a quieter day at the plate in game one with his hit in the fifth, an RBI, and he'll take strike one. Arbaugh's first pitch strike since the first at bat of the inning. Arbaugh checks the runner. I don't think Pereira's going to move. Oh, by the way, Pereira is just a home run away from the cycle. That's foul, make it 0-2. Tough thing is that unless Tampa really has a huge inning here, they're unlikely to be in a position for Pereira to have another at-bat to try to go for the cycle. Still, single, double, and triple is pretty impressive. And that's Pereira's first start of the season for the Spartans. 1-2. So, a 1-2 to Braden Woodburn. That's high, ball two. Tampa have left 7 on the base path, but they've also scored 7 runs today. So they have been clutch when they've needed to be. 2-2. Up the middle. This will likely end the inning. Oh, takes a weird hop for Barboza. He tried to field it barehanded, and that allows Woodburn to reach safely. They're going to call that a base hit on Woodburn. Putting runners at the corners. 2-hit day for Woodburn to bring up Gunnar Carlson. Lefty-lefty matchup for Arbaugh. Just a bit of a misread on the hop from Barboza. Don't know what his plan was with the barehanded grab. Might have been trying to do too much out there. And here comes Carlson. 1 hit today, 3 straight outs, as that'll be strike 1. He's looking for a timely base hit. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. 6-run lead. Don't know if the Spartans will send Woodburn. Quick pickoff throw as it almost gets away from Warren. And with that glare coming from home plate out to the field, the defense does have to be careful. Those routine hits can be tougher to see, including those pickoff throws, say, from Arbaugh. Checks the runner. Here's the 0-1. That one inside. 1-1. It was the walks that Tampa capitalized in Game 2. It's the 17 hits they've picked up today that they've capitalized in Game 3 of the series. In the dirt, good block. Wensky makes it a 2-1 count. Arbaugh's had some shaky command, but he has avoided any direct walks or hit by pitches here, which is a benefit for Davenport. He'll continue here with a 2-1. Bottom of the 7th, 7-1 Spartan lead. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Pounds the fastball by Carlson. 2 away. Tipped and foul. Missed the glove hit. It's still 2-2. Down low, ball 3. That'll bring the count full, which will send Woodburn in motion with 2 outs. There is a free base, so you can't steal home if you're Pereira. Payoff pitch as Woodburn will be moving. Ball 4 missing inside. Close call, which continues the inning. And that'll bring up Jordan Evans. Tampa haven't scored yet, and they only have 1 out to work with 2 down. But there is a chance that Evans could bring home another. He scored as a base runner twice on his 3-hit day so far. First pitch to Evans. Check swing, and he does go around. Strike one. They confirm it with the infield umpire. 0-1. Evans unable to hold up in time. Here's our ball. Tipped back, and he's got Evans to 2 strikes. Evans and Pereira with 3 hit days. Evans mentioned that a teammate that he feels was going under the radar that he wanted to see get some action was Pereira. And in the same game, the two have both been standout players for the Spartans. Can Evans continue the hot day at the plate? On the ground to third, and that one almost picked up at the hot corner by Pereira. It'll stay 0-2. That one rolling out of the way for Lyford. There is some activity in the Spartan bullpen. Will they keep Oscar Hernandez, try to go all 3 innings, or give another Spartan player a chance? Top of the 8th coming up. And Evans is going to drive one to center. That one's carried into the gap, and it is going to fall for extra bases. All 3 come home. A bases clearing double. He was not hungry enough for the salami, but it's a big hit for Evans. A 4-hit day to put Tampa up 10-1. And Irigoyen's ready to go at the plate. Sometimes on doubleheaders, they use the run rule. They do it relatively sparingly for Tampa baseball. They did it in the first game, I think, primarily because Tampa was so dominant and there were so many free bases. I think if Tampa did score the runner here, they wouldn't count it as a walk-off. Don't take my word as gospel, though. Irigoyen could win the game, ball 1 up high. But Evans, with 3 RBIs on that double, will continue to extend his season tally. Hit a 3-run home run in a similar spot earlier. And here comes Evans to third. The throw, he's safe. Dangerous steal, but Evans makes it pay off. After getting caught out earlier, I know that'll be some good revenge for him. So, Irigoyen ready to go with a 1-0 count. The miss allowed Evans to go into scoring position. High fly ball that should drop in no man's land. Can they find it? They can't! It'll bounce over the head, and Evans comes home. They dealt with the glare, and they are going to call it. Sayonara for Irigoyen. Tampa wins 11-1. Sometimes all you got to do is put it in play. And tough for the Panthers to track down some of those fly balls. You got to feel for Arbaugh. He did not have a bad outing, but just can't escape the frame. Tampa put 4 on the board to confirm the series W and win 3 straight. They jump to a 19-3 record, but we're not done yet. We've got a 4th game coming tomorrow, although my voice desperately needs a break. I will be getting a lot of rest because I've been here at the ballpark for a long time tonight. But don't worry, I'll be up at the crack of dawn. Well, not exactly the crack of dawn. Anyway, I'm not going to yap too much longer. Tampa wins 11-1, closing out a doubleheader W. It'll likely be Tobin Moran to try to close out a series sweep for the Spartans. See you at 11 a.m. on Sunday.